used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two Guys and a Goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Lock Shop.
This might be actually my favorite weekend of the year now that I think about it. Masters weekend's always right up there because you're kind of getting into a good period of time. But I got to tell you, this CFL triple header that's planned for Saturday is going to be amazing. I got my Chiefs raising a banner on Thursday night, and then the first full Sunday of NFL action. I mean,
that is a great weekend, buddy. That's a great weekend.
The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at noon, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
To another episode of The Oil Stream, the first one on Edmonton Sports Talk. And yes, let's go. You can hit us up in the YouTube chat for sure. You can also text us anytime at 780-218-9999. Dusty and Tommy with you to kind of wrap up day one here at Edmonton Sports Talk. We started at 6 o'clock this morning. Things were going, we had a little bit of an audio bump in the 6 o'clock hour, got that smoothed out, 7 to about 10:50 went really smooth, and then we did start having a few hiccups with the stream, but we'll get that sorted out. It's day one. Outside of that, day one has been an absolutely massive success. So it's pretty exciting, actually, isn't it, Tommy? I thought Hangout was awesome today.
Thank you. It was fantastic. Great to have J-Mo in and John Sexsmith as well. Just a fun conversation, and that's the premise of it, really. It is a hangout. We can go so many different ways with the topics. I mean, even the texts that were coming in, like they did back in the 1260 days, kind of guiding us along. A fantastic job by Matty Iwanek today and Lieutenant Eric. And it's just the four of us. And, we're piecing it together. We also have great partners in Joaquin Gage, Sean Bell, Murray McCourt, Matt Cassian, Curtis Stock. Friends of EST is a cool thing. When we had ESPN radio on 1260, some people just couldn't handle it. That was their cue to shut things off. Well, now we're going to have local content, and Friends of EST is a great way to do it. Great idea. And then we're going to keep adding to this. This is just, the start. Obviously, it's in its infancy, but I think all things considered, you get to see what we've been working on for the last month and a half, 2 months, and to see it come to fruition and for people to see it and for there to be relatively few glitches out of the gate. I mean,
for day one, I think it's gone pretty smooth. Matty, the audio stream's working right now, right? Yeah, you should be able to listen right now at edmontonsportstalk.com. And if you are, feel free to text us. Let us know that you're connected and fire questions your way. And we'll get to a bunch of them. But it was a great day with the Nielsen Show. Hangout was awesome as well. Yep. Then after those technical issues, we banged out a nice little episode of The Lock Shop. The Fantasy Football 5 is kind of like a thing that we're going to throw in on The Lock Shop at the end of it, but today, just because of those issues, we didn't have time to do it, and we want to get straight to the oil stream here. Yeah. So Greg, who commented on the YouTube chat, saying, "Hey, Dusty, you going to take time to answer my fantasy football questions during the stream?" I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. But
it's been a day. Yeah, yesterday was a day. Today's been a day too, but in a good way. And listen, this is just the start, and I think we're off. I think some good omens to kick things off. And this is our first oil stream that is not a podcast. It'll be cut up into a podcast. This is our first show of the oil stream.
Full-blown hour with commercials and stuff,
And the Oilers pre- and post-game show, now known as the Oil Stream pre- and post-game show. So that'll be back, obviously. I think we're going to get going in the preseason. We haven't really
we'll talk about what we're going to do in the preseason. Yeah. I mean, we can definitely do them right here in the studio in the preseason for sure. We're in the Popeye studio here at the Edmonton Sports Talk headquarters. A couple of text messages already rolling in. Hey, guys, regardless of all the technical difficulties today, just felt great having meaningful sports talk back. Well job, boys. Well job. Dano Insano. I'm not too sure if that's I don't know. Have you heard from Dano Insano before?
That might be a new.
Yeah, that might be somebody new. I like that. Hey guys,
I hope we get a whole bunch more.
It's coming through here in Morley. Sounds great. My life is good again. Hey, our life is good again too. We're pretty excited about what we've got going here with the oil stream and everything else that we've got as well. If you are watching on YouTube or you want to fire in a text, you can certainly hit that up here 780-218-9999. And we'll get to all of your Oilers questions. You're going to hear the oil stream. You're going to be able to watch the oil stream every single day every single day live from 12 to 1. And then I'm sure old program director Iwanek will have it slotted in at some other time of the day as well, so you can catch it a little bit later on. And that's what we're going to do. The audio stream that we have right here, right now, that you'll be listening to if you're listening online, there might be a glitch or two along the way here in the early going.
Hope not.
But this bad boy is going to be running 24/7. We're not turning it off ever again. So that's kind of how we've laid things out so far. Tommy, the Edmonton Oilers already skating.
They're skating.
Yeah.
Captain Skates, we heard McDavid wanted everybody here by the 5th. They are here. Saw Sam Gagner on his Instagram story flying with the whole fam family.
Okay.
That's a good sign. And I like this. And I spoke to it, I think it was on our last oil stream. And it's him setting the tone for the whole team, the whole group. And I think it started last year, to be honest with you, Dusty, with the way that team kind of bought in and their mentality. Everybody seemed to be on the same page, rowing in the same direction. And I think that's continued, and it's been strengthened with the messaging, and it feels like so far everybody's been on board. Haven't been down to the rink yet because we've been getting this set up, but I think, when we start getting there for the skates and availabilities, we'll get a real sense of it, and we'll, report back what it feels like down there and what are we hearing from the team overall.
I have an idea, because as you mentioned, you said, it just kind of started last year with like the full-blown buy-in. And like, to me, that came from losing to Colorado and Colorado going on to win the Stanley Cup. Like, I just felt like they're like, oh, man, like, we're close now. And everybody decided to buy. Is that like, because what else would have spurned this on? Because McDavid's been the captain of the team for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of, key moments where all of a sudden, everybody would have been, okay, it's time to crank this thing up a notch. And I'm feeling like a loss to a team that went on to win the Stanley Cup might have been the thing that did that.
I think so. Obviously, that was a start to it. I mean, we talked about how this team was building a couple years ago, and we were like, is this team a contender? Are they for real, or are they just posers? Well, they surprised everyone, got to the Western Conference Final, got swept in that Western Conference Final. That was an eye-opener for the group, right? We referenced back to the 80s and how the Oilers lost to the Islanders, and they had those stepping stones along the way, beating the Habs in 81. Yes, so we drew those comparisons because it's obviously close to home, obviously in a different generation, but those were the comparisons that were being made from those that covered the team, watched the team back then, and now this group is going through this type of situation. Then last year, after having that realization, that stark lesson that the Avs gave them, they felt like they had it. They maybe in their minds felt like, okay, now we know what it takes. And then they get to the second round, and they're in every game. They have a lead in every game. They blow those leads, obviously. And Game 5, that 3-minute span with the bad penalties, and you can make the case that Broberg penalty was a dog, call. But it still was a collapse. And the exasperation, the anger, straight up anger, frustrated feeling, sentiment that the group had, not only the fan base, but the group inside the room, because they realized that it was right there. And we watched the Golden Knights go on to win the Stanley Cup in a Stanley Cup final. That good on the Florida Panthers for putting together the run that they did, Dusty. But I think that second round series between the Oilers and the Golden Knights, and listen, you can text me and tell me I'm completely off my rocker when I say this at 218-9999. But I think that series, when the Oilers lost that, they realized they blew their chance to go to the Stanley Cup final and have a really good chance of winning the Stanley Cup, because that path was paved if you got through that second round series. And no disrespect to Dallas.
No, that was it. That's what it came down to. Yeah, no, I would 100% agree. If you're listening right now, feel free to chime in, 780-218-9999. This text is in and says, finally able to listen to an Oil Stream live. I cannot explain how pumped I am for the first pre and post game shows as well. Congrats, boys. That's in from Maple Jed today. Bobby LaFrench is here. We'll get to that question from Bobby LaFrench here at some point. Guys, listening from the Kootenays after going off the grid from Edmonton. Loud and clear, boys. Love this. Missed you all. Even Tom. Yes, I said it. Kootenay Pat. Kootenay Pat even missed you, Tommy.
Listen, you can't please them all, but I appreciate that, Kootenay Pat.
That's a good one. Let's see here. Guys, life is back. Pumped to hear all of you on the air again. Makes me even more excited for the Oilers season. FYI, EST Hangout is an amazing show and concept, which is awesome because we came up with that while we were just hanging out in the office, which was absolutely amazing. I love that people like that show. Obviously, our show leading into it, we'll get that listenership up. And then it was awesome today because nobody turned it off. Like, the numbers stayed the same. So Hangout was great, boys.
Yes. Yeah. That 2 hours went by really fast.
Yeah, it did go by pretty quick, right? Like, I was kind of monitoring over here and helping with some of the commercial stuff, and then I was trying to prep for Lock Shop and stuff, and it actually flew by pretty quick. Let's get to this text from Bobby LaFrench.
Love it.
Guys, I've heard the clip all morning about Evander Kane feeling more comfortable, and it brings something up I've been wondering for a while. It seems that each time Kane gets traded, he's a model citizen for a couple of years, and then things go sour. I'm just some guy seeing patterns in public information. Or could there be reason to worry that comfort could lead to old behaviors resurfacing? Interesting question. Thanks for it.
That's a fair question. Yeah, I given his track record, given everything that he's gone through off the ice, the turmoil that has spilled onto the ice within the locker rooms that he's been in. Listen, the Buffalo situation wasn't great. There was some off-ice stuff there that was really bad. That got cleared up, and I remember talking to, just say it, Benoit Pouliot when he was in Buffalo, and he goes, this isn't a great locker room. It's not good. This is just not a good situation. And
that Buffalo locker room.
it was bad at that time. And I know that they've gone through a lot of changes over there, and that's starting to shift, obviously. Tage Thompson's great over there. And Evander Kane was part of that. Now, what I would say to the Evander Kane that we're seeing and hearing from now is everything sounds like it's been good. And he's bought in. He's been a model citizen from everything I've heard and listening to guys talk about him in and around the team.
I mean, I'll just chime in quickly on this. It almost seems too good to be true. I think that's why that guy might be like, what's going on here? Because this guy is nothing like the as advertised guys. When they pick this guy up, I obviously know a few people in Winnipeg through TSN and stuff. And they were like, well, good luck. And then you hear some things. You're like, well, man, like let's hope it plays out well. And then here it's been like, the exact opposite. I think he's done a phenomenal job here.
Okay, yes. And that instinct to go, when is he going to screw up, or when will something come out that goes off the rails? I think that it's natural to think that given his history, right, through multiple organizations and all the years he's been in the National Hockey League. Now, he hasn't done that yet. I also think, to his credit, there has been some internal growth and maturation that has occurred, and that happens to us as we get older. He's got a couple of kids now.
Yeah. Things change, man, when you grow up.
Everything with the legal issues, and listen, this is me kind of putting it together and what I'm kind of seeing, and this is completely subjective, but I think that he realizes this is it. There's no more strikes left. You need to perform on the ice, earn those contracts, whatever. I know he got a good ticket in this last contract. He might have one more, maybe two more contracts left, depending on his health, how his legs hold up, how he's playing, all that stuff, how he maintains his off-ice stuff. And you can start to see he's got all these entrepreneurial ventures he's taking part. I think he's starting to plan ahead, and he realizes, I can't go to Vegas and post myself holding up a bunch of stacks of cash.
As cool as that would be.
On the Cosmopolitan balcony.
Yeah.
That Evander Kane has to stay in the past. I think he understands that. This is just my take on it, and everything I've seen in the room, on the ice, for the most part. There's been those things. You remember when he went 7 and McDavid?
Yeah.
Like, there's been a few of those.
You know what that is, though? That's just swag, man. Like, that's just, the 7 thing is just, you're fired up in a game, and, you're a guy that can get under some skin a little bit, right? So
he's backed it up.
Yeah, I don't see any issues there.
But I understand where that question comes from, and you're kind of waiting, like, but when does this happen? Or where's the fallout? I think given all that's happened with Kane, that's totally natural and understandable. But so far, to his credit, so good.
Let's get to a couple of text messages on Kane. By the way, this is awesome. Seeing the inbox just get hammered here during the oil stream. Make sure you chime in on the YouTube chat as well. But we love the fact that many of you are taking advantage of our live audio stream, which is the key here. Yeah. We've mentioned a few times we're hoping to maybe end up on the TuneIn app as well, possibly iHeart. We'll see how that goes. Yep. But the audio stream that we've got going right now is definitely doing the trick. We had this text come in at 780-218-9999. Fellas, oil streaming down here in Southern California. Ooh. Man, it's good to have you guys back. That's in from Barry Getman. And not only can you listen to us in California, you can also text in from the United States now as well, which is pretty darn cool. Let's get to a couple of text messages on this. Guys, it's almost like getting older and having children changes a man, for sure. Hey, guys, here's the thing about Kane now, boys. He's a father now. He has full custody of his daughter. As a professional athlete, to get full custody, what does that tell you? He's all good, boys. So happy you're back. That's in from Brad, the bookie, today. And this one says, damn, your hair looks good, which I find very interesting considering I'm wearing a hat. They can't even see my hair. How's my hair has been up until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then back up at about 3:45 this morning, and then had a hat on it the entire time. So, Tommy, your hair looks good.
Thanks. There's Swedish hair cream in there. That stuff is
that
gold.
What you got?
It's fantastic. I had to pull out all the stops for day one. I think now, given we're back in the swing of things, on camera every day, you can't disappoint. But listen, there's been long days. Your hair actually was looking good yesterday, considering everything that we were going through.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to doll ourselves up for you because we want to look pretty too.
Everybody's got to look nice.
Got to look nice for the people.
Before we get to a quick break, this will be a tease. This is what we call a tease before we get to the commercial.
Hey there.
The love affair Bouchard is why. Oh, man. Maddie, are we good to go to a commercial? All right, let's do it. We'll be back with more Oil Stream here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
The Lock Shop.
This might be actually my favorite weekend of the year now that I think about it. Masters weekend's always right up there because you're kind of getting into a good period of time. But I got to tell you, this CFL triple header that's planned for Saturday is going to be amazing. I got my Chiefs raising a banner on Thursday night, and then the first full Sunday of NFL action. I mean,
that is a great weekend, buddy. That's a great weekend.
The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey! Saturday mornings at noon, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagner coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagner involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
If you are watching or listening on YouTube or listening at EdmontonSportsTalk.com right now in our live audio feed, make sure you also subscribe to the Oil Stream podcast as well, available on all of your podcasting platforms. For those of you who have been kind of following along today, our podcast will go up on a more regular basis in the future as we continue to work through just the process and operation of getting the video out and getting the audio out as well.
It's four of us, literally four of us.
Hopefully soon to be five. We got
hopefully
our,
five, yeah.
we're scouting a young kid and thinking maybe we'll give him an opportunity. That would be great. So, hey guys, I've been on for 10 minutes. All I get is commercials. No, you haven't been on for 10 minutes and all you got is commercials. You've been on for 3 minutes maybe, because we just played 3 minutes of commercials and that's it. And they're just promos for our other programs. As always, the Oil Stream, you got Boston Pizza, you got Cool Bed on board as well. And we can get into your Boston Pizza headliner for sure. We'll certainly go into that And we'll get to a few more of your text messages that I've circled in. I do want to come back around to that one that we kind of teased when we went to break, and that was Bouchard being nothing more than a power play specialist and a third pair D-man. Tommy, where do you come? Now, this is interesting that there's already these people out there that are viewing him that way, because you know how it is when a defenseman kind of starts to have people go against him and get that target on his back. It's tough in this market to get out of it. I don't see it that way just yet. Now, when you do watch these games, you do see Bouchard have some deficiencies defensively. Yep. I think a full season of Matthias Ekholm riding shotgun with him is going to completely change everything and probably change the way a lot of you might view him as overrated, because he's probably going to end up being a 70-point defenseman who's at least plus 15 or plus 20 on the season, I would think.
Yes. Describing Evan Bouchard as that, can you read that term again? Just so we can.
The one that we had here from the guy? Here all we go. Hype. Yeah, I'll read this whole thing.
Not all hype, but hype.
The love affair for Bouchard is why? An offensive plus ozone, third pairing D at best, though.
That was the descriptor many Oilers fans used for one Bartholomew Berry.
Tyson Berry.
I'm making up his middle name.
I was going to say, what's his middle name? Bartholomew?
No, whenever I say your middle name, it's always Bartholomew.
That's just your thing that you do?
That's my thing. I don't know.
Wow, where's that come from? Simpsons?
Bartholomew's a funny middle name.
Okay, all right.
It's a great name.
Have you ever met an actual Bartholomew?
I'm sure I have.
I have.
Probably just go by B-Dog or Bart.
Or do they go by Bart? Are all Barts Bartholomews?
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway.
Regardless.
Sorry. Continue.
Anyway,
Continue.
it's just maybe people or some view Bouchard as that, but he has to prove otherwise. And he's done it in small instances. A great stretch drive last year, very strong playoffs offensively. He had that solid stretch drive and a good playoff the year prior. So I understand where that sentiment's coming from. I'm not saying that's all he is right now. I think he's capable of being more than a third pairing guy. I already think he's better than a third pairing guy. Again, my take. And let him go and dictate what type of defensive blue liner he is, because you mentioned the Ekholm factor, how much of Ekholm and the little things he does on the ice, the way he manages space and gap control in his own zone, and those old veteran tricks of the trade that he knows that he could pass on to a young Evan Bouchard. If he picks up those things like a sponge, then we're not having this discussion. But, the track record for Bouchard, I think it's still not big enough, like the body of work as a whole, to paint him in a certain picture completely yet, if that's a fair way to describe it.
Let's get to a couple of comments on the YouTube chat. And once again, thank you very much. Lock it in Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays right here with the Oil Stream on Edmonton Sports Talk. By the way, our YouTube channel yesterday was at 2,200 followers. By last night, it was at 2,700 followers, and as of right now, it's at 3,100 followers.
Share, subscribe, smash that thumbs up. Remember, we kept saying that?
Yeah, for all of your friends who are like, man, it's frustrating with sports talk in this city, just send them our YouTube link and tell them that we'll take care of them, and hopefully it'll be pretty smooth there. Yeah. YouTube season on the YouTube chat says, do you guys expect an Ekholm-Broberg pair? They're skating together in the captain skates.
Don't read too much into the captain skates. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I
do like to imagine the captain skates as Connor McDavid setting his own lines now he's telling Woody, like, hey man, I've set the lines. These are the lines. I'm the coach now.
The way Woodcroft rolls line, Dave Manson they change things up on the fly. This is a great time to just get everybody acclimated with one another again, and maybe Ekholm and Broberg skating together. I'm sure we're going to see it at some point. Honestly, don't be surprised. I don't think that they're setting these things in stone. And again, this is just captain skates. So there's going to be days where a guy misses a captain skate because he has to go for a doctor's appointment for his kid and stuff like that. I know that the direction from McDavid and the leadership group is there, but these are captain skates. This isn't training camp. I think by the time we get to training camp, if we're seeing Broberg and Ekholm together consistently, then we go, okay, we're going to see this in a preseason game. And then when we see it in a couple preseason games, it goes, well, maybe they're trying to do that. But right now, September 6th, training camp is 2 weeks away still. Not yet. Not yet, but I definitely could see them playing together at some point. Injuries happen. Guys get into slumps. They get into bad grooves. If, let's say, Evan Bouchard has a tough go at some point and you want to change it up, and maybe you want to get Broberg going and Ekholm's the D whisperer, if you will, the young defenseman whisperer, sure, we could see it, absolutely. And as we've seen, again, with this coaching staff, they're open to shuffling the deck very quickly and trying as many combinations as possible, sometimes for benefit and sometimes to their detriment, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see it. But to go, all right, that's the pair this year, too early.
A couple more comments. You can hit us up in that inbox, 780-218-9999. Hey, guys, this is way better than Bob Stauffer at lunch. Should be Monday through Friday, fellas. Now, listen, I've had a call with Staff in like the last 3 days. You've had a call with Staff in the last few days. I was on a call with Staff, and God love him. Like, we're
hello, Robert.
We kind of joke back and forth, but I was on a call with Staff after the Labor Day game from when I left Airdrie, because I drove home that night. I left Airdrie. I was still on the phone with Staff past Red Deer. And to be honest with you, I would like to thank the folks at Ched for moving Staff's show to 5 to 7 because it allows us to continue to build the oil stream, and you guys can still get Staff's good content in the evenings.
He's a great broadcaster and a friend, and it was nice to hear from him. I'm sure we're going to be.
It's always great to get that stuff call, man. Yeah, for sure.
Tabs on things.
Ty on the YouTube chat says the set looks great. Prop to the fellas. You just give you a quick update if you're watching. If you're listening to live stream, you go back, track it down on YouTube a little bit later on. But it came down to yesterday afternoon, and Bruce from William Huff, just like an all-time clutch move. This is like when Michael Jordan pushed off Byron Russell and managed to hit that shot that should have been an offensive foul. This one wouldn't have been an offensive foul. He sent over his dream team.
They were great.
Came in, set up the wrap in the Hangout studio as well. We're talking like they left here at 4 p.m. yesterday. So then our plan is to – now this actually works out not bad.
It did.
Our plan is to hang this TV, but we had this desk custom made. So this desk actually – comes apart here with magnets, and it actually can be 4 slots wide, which just ended up being too big. So we had the extra desk, which we just put into the corner and put the TV on it. And when did we do this? Like 9 o'clock last night?
When we realized that we
had a corner wall mount, and that didn't work.
We have to get a new one.
But this actually works okay.
Yeah.
And we really don't have too much of a use for this small piece of the desk. So this will work for a little bit, I think.
It's a little tight back there. But when we get it mounted, it does look great. If we didn't even say that, people would be like, hey, there's another desk back there. Yeah. It's part of this desk, I suppose.
But it looks good, right? Because it's the same desk. So
it looks really good. And again, Bruce from our good friend Bruce Wiggins came in and helped us out too.
Helped out with some of the lights and stuff. So that was great as well. Let's see. We'll get to a few more of your messages. Let's see here. This one in from the Sailor, who's I guess everybody's munching data. We didn't
saw Gelly on there too. Hello, Gelly.
Yeah, is it Gelly or Jelly?
I always called him Gelly, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
He's fired up for the pre- and post-game show.
I know.
And you should be fired up for the pre- and post-game show because we're going to be crushing it out on that on the YouTube channel here, obviously. Oil Stream pre- and post with this man, and then on the live stream as well. Sailor says, as of today, what are the lines for the top 9? Does Connor Brown get a spot with McDavid right away, or does he go with Draisaitl, Kane, McDavid, and Brown, Nuge, Draisaitl, Hyman, Holloway, McLeod, and Fogle? I mean, I think that's probably what it is. Don't you think that's what it is?
We need to overthink it at this point. Yeah. Like there's gonna be so many moving pieces. But yes, the answer is yes to that question. That's probably the 9, and maybe we see. Hey, maybe Holloway climbs the ladder a little bit. What if Connor Brown's knee isn't 100% and he needs to start lower down? I know. I'm saying what if, right? Yeah. But I think that's a pretty solid top 9. And I think we will see a tiny bit of movement. And I know maybe somebody's chimed in and said, hey, what about Lavoie? This is going to be a big camp for Lavoie. This is make it or break it for him. But I don't see him being a top 9 guy.
Yeah, I don't think you
he's
pencil him into
scorching the preseason. And again, I say that with an asterisk beside it. A good preseason doesn't always equate into a solid start to the regular season. Brendan Perlini is one of those guys where we go. And Brendan Perlini, nice guy, great quote, all that stuff. Look at you doing selfies.
Well, no, so I just want to say Furby from Popeyes.
Oh, Furbs.
He texts me, and completely out to lunch. He goes, "Did you guys launch today?" I'm like, "Did you launch today? We're doing a show in the Popeyes studio right now."
Someone says, "Tell Tommy to sit closer to the mic." I'm eating it.
Yeah.
Sorry if I backed off there.
Mike and Matthew are into the YouTube chat saying that Jordan is the GOAT and better than LeBron. And VR Montegro is saying, are you folks trying to get Dusty to flip that table? Because if so, I'm in.
What?
No, listen, not on this show. Not on this show. I plan on launching a podcast once a month where I spend an hour explaining why LeBron actually is better than Michael Jordan, and you'll be able to get that. Gazzola just said Lavoie is getting traded. Got it.
I didn't say that at all. I said
the classic
it's make it or break it for him.
In. Look, I don't even think.
No.
I mean, if he doesn't make the Oilers, he'll go on waivers. I'm not even sure he gets claimed. I'd probably, unless he comes in, lights up camp, and they're still like, sorry, kid, we still don't have a spot for you, then maybe. But I'm sorry, most NHL organizations have one or two Raphael Lavoies of their own. There won't be people lining up to claim this guy, I don't think.
I don't think so, unless there's a scout out there that has been watching him, especially in the last part of last season, and goes, we need this guy. He's exactly what we need, and we think the Oilers are screwing up by not having him on the team. That's if he doesn't have a great camp and doesn't earn a spot, all that hypothetical again. But it is a make or break training camp for Raphael Lavoie. They're going to put him in all kinds of situations. They're going to play him probably on the top two lines. They're going to give him looks with McDavid and Draisaitl. The plan, from what I'm told, is for him to play a lot of preseason games and just give him that opportunity, see what they've got in him and how he's developed. How he performs will dictate where he ends up. Again, the cap crunch, the amount of guys that they already have, it's an uphill battle for Raphael Lavoie. But like Dusty alluded to, if he does end up on waiver, especially the cut down day where there's a glut of those borderline players.
Yes, you sneak them through.
They usually sneak through. Unless, again, there's a scout absolutely in love with him and talks him up to a GM that also watched the film or happened to catch him at a game throughout last season and says, yeah, you know what, we could take a flyer on a guy like that. We think he could play here. He'll probably, if he weren't not to make the team, the Oilers, that is, probably end up back in Bakersfield. And that's no knock.
Another year of development. Like this is what happens for guys who are kind of viewed as tweeners. Yeah. And at this stage, that's kind of, I think, all you can sort of view him as right now. Let's see here. Hey guys, happy to have you back. Munching the data. Num 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 num. That's in from Tricks. I think that's our first num 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 num.
I saw some tweets with num.
There was lots of num 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 tweets, but Eric and I didn't num 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 today because it's just so weird because everybody's num num numbing now.
I love it.
Like everybody's munching the data now. So this text in once again, and we were just establishing this, but I'm telling you, man, these lines are going to be busy. 780-218-9999. Hello, boys. A good lunch viewing. Yes, we're glad that you decided to hop on. Like this was day one, and we had some hiccups early on, but that YouTube video we had that ran from 6 this morning to about 11 is over. It's going to be over 6. It's probably over 6,000 views already. Yeah. And then we've had to separate Lock Shop in this one for today, and we're going to work on transitioning you from one video to the other. We think there's some ways we do that. We're still kind of learning YouTube ourselves, but I think it's been a pretty successful day so far, and we're in the home stretch now.
It feels
this is the
really
final
good.
live
Honestly,
show of the day until we add an afternoon show at some point.
And people, like I'm getting texts. Hello to Larry. He says, I'm listening in my truck. It's awesome. No hiccups at all so far. So let's knock on wood and hope that continues.
And we got a wood desk.
Yeah, we do. It's a good wood, too. See? Good finish. And Larry was also listening and watching on our YouTube channel. So it's, maybe this is the beginning of something good.
Hey, guys, Gregor said he heard whispers of another league minimum signing for the Oil. Have you heard anything, Tommy?
I haven't. I wouldn't be surprised. I need to check in. We've been so wrapped up in all of this. That
I'll just throw this out there. I'm pretty sure every market is hearing whispers of players signing league minimum deals right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Could be, but that's the same thing in every single market. So
unless it's like a surefire guy that you're going to squeeze in, I wouldn't get too excited.
Yeah. All right.
That's just my take.
We got one segment left. I like this oil stream as a full-blown show, buddy.
It's more laid back because I know when we were doing it as a podcast, we had to cram it into 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah,
Sometimes we would go a little bit later, depending on the day and everything. But now that we have a full show format and layout, this can breathe a little bit more, and we can hit on more topics, get to more of the chat and the commentary, and I think that's a good element too. And
for the guy who already said, somebody asked, he's like, are you going to have everything? I mean, the oil stream already has a podcast. This will just be updated on there now 3 times a week.
Right, and I think that was kind of a misconception too, is like, well, is everything, are you guys doing podcasts? Well, everything at 1260 turned into a podcast. So we're following the same format.
There are basically 3 platforms.
Yeah.
You can watch us live. You can listen to us live, 24/7 audio stream. So make sure you lock that in. Bookmark. Just go to your phone. Go to Edmonton Sports Talk one time. The bookmark it, add it to your home screen. Boom. Very simple. And then everything gets packaged out at the end of the day. Not even at the end of the day, but at the end of that segment as a podcast. That's how it's going to work eventually.
Yeah.
We're hoping to probably bring in some extra hands to help move things along a little bit quicker in the mornings. But that's where we're at right now. One segment left. Do you have any questions? Hit us up right now, 780-218-9999 or in the YouTube chat. One segment left of the oil stream. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
2 guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
2 guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch. Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Lock Shop.
This might be actually my favorite weekend of the year now that I think about it. Masters weekend's always right up there because you're kind of getting into a good period of time. But I got to tell you, this CFL triple header that's planned for Saturday is going to be amazing. I got my Chiefs raising a banner on Thursday night, and then the first full Sunday of NFL action. I mean,
that is a great weekend, buddy. That's a great weekend.
The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at noon, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Oil Stream. Today, Oil Stream brought to you in part by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen and Boston Pizza. Boston Pizza, we got a sneak peek. So we did that Oil Stream at Boston Pizza last week, I guess. Was it last week or was it the week before?
Last week.
It was last week. And Neil made me a smoked ham and chicken stromboli sandwich.
I saw you
and
devoured it.
He made it like the old way. Oh, it was so good. So good. I do like to mix a little salt on top, but I didn't do it.
We had a salt discussion on the Nielsen show this morning. And
we did.
Fraze told you about the detriments of salt.
Yeah.
Look at him. He looks great.
Fraze has
He's
been
wearing
here.
short shorts.
Fraze
He's going
has
for
been
a
here
run.
all day. Yeah. You're so different.
You're so fit and limber, Fraze.
You're like our Will Fraser's brother. Like, it's not the same guy. It's just, it's so weird. Anyway, Fraze, thanks for hanging around. He's not going anywhere. He's already asked.
Wait till the couch shows up.
He's already asked for the code to the door. He's just like, "See you guys."
Oh, we didn't give it to him. Yet.
No, not yet. What were we talking about? We got sidetracked.
Boston Pizza.
Oh, Boston Pizza. Yeah.
And Neil he's like, try something different. I had like a dill chicken
how was
Powerball.
that?
Very good.
Yeah.
I felt powerful.
Anyway, they've got a new pizza coming. And it's always ballsy to drop a new pizza at Boston Pizza.
Right.
But they got a new style of pizza coming. It's like a square deep dish style of pizza.
There's one that really speaks to me with the way it's dressed up. And if they're able to replicate the one I saw in the promo pic, the Italian side of me will be a very happy paisan.
It does look pretty good.
Looks
so
fantastic.
Oil Stream brought to you by Popeyes. Popeyes has I got some new Popeyes notes here. 6-piece sweet and spicy wings.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you can get the 6-piece sweet and spicy wings plus a regular side and a medium drink for $12.99. So that's on the radar at Popeyes. Popeyes Boston Pizza, and of course Coolbet. None of this would be possible if Coolbet wasn't on board with us. So a huge shout out to those guys again, and we will be betting the Oilers heavily at Coolbet as we work our way through the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hey, guys, here's my question. Is that Will Arnett doing your voiceovers? That dude has pipes.
That's your buddy, isn't it?
Well, it's my old co-host. I did the morning show in Fort McMurray for 2 years, and that's Jamesy. He's my co-host up there. And I left. Then he left for a bit, started running like the airport at Fort Mac. And now I'm pretty sure he's back on the morning show up there.
Yeah.
And also still like higher up at the airport now too. So, but he's got sick pipes. We had
He's
a pretty
making bank,
We had
is
a
what
pretty
you're saying.
we had a pretty fun show for a couple of years, Jamesy and I. So anyway, he's got good pipes, and we're like, oh man, who should we get to voice a bunch of the stuff? And we got a female voice coming as well.
Yes.
So to mix a few of these things up, because one of the things that we decided on Edmonton Sports Talk is we're not really running 30-second spots. We're running promos for our other shows, so that way if you skip over them, nobody loses value, but all of our advertisers are tied in just into the conversation. So
you can see it on the interface. You
Yeah.
can scroll through all our great advertisers. Big thank you to them. And also, I like how the text line is prominently displayed. If you're not watching on YouTube right now, the new text line number is 780-218-9999. Hit us up, and we'll get to you. I see Northside Adam is chiming in. Along for the ride now to go home and do something about this sports talk boner I've got. Thanks. LOL. Northside Adam. Northside Adam. Great to meet you at last week's On Location Oil Stream at BP Northgate. Big thank you to everyone.
We'll have
What a
another
great turnout.
we'll have another live Boston Pizza this week as well. Yeah, that was amazing. Seeing everybody out there for the last one. Great show, guys. Love the fireside chat earlier. That would be the hangout. You guys had a great one. Look, man, we got to get JMO and Sexy in once a week. We got to talk to those guys about once a week. Yeah, I mean, it may be more one day. But those guys should be in it once a week at least. I thought they were absolutely terrific. We know what's going on the next couple of days too, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow on the hangout, we've got Sean Bell and Maddie. We've also got Derek Van Diest.
DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, DVD and Belsey.
And then on Friday, Quinn Phillips.
Quinn Phillips in the house. Quinn Phillips will be here on Friday, and Murray McCourt,
Yes.
who has our show on the weekends, a VIP golf show, doing it from the ranch for now. But Murray is itching to get into the studio, man.
I got a lot of things to say about you people, says Murray.
So Murray and Quinn will be in on Friday. And like we said, we dropped that video earlier in the week, man. We got 20 to 25 people that are like super pumped to be popping by there. I know Gager will be in. Hopefully we'll be able to get Cass to fit into his schedule a few times as well.
And listen, I know this is the Oil Stream, and we will get back to the Oilers talk in short order here, but we are going to cover all elements of Edmonton sports. And that's the beauty of this format and where we can go with this and the type of guests that we're going to have come in here. So we know firsthand that there were teams in this community that are prominent that were overlooked.
100%.
And, now we have an opportunity to give them some love and discuss them because they matter too. And here's our format, and we can roll that out a little bit more.
This text is in from the future teacher who did text in earlier saying that she's a woman, and they're nasties too. And yes,
I love it.
Men are nasties, women are nasties. Everybody is an AM nasty. She says, hey, boys, am I missing something, or will the Nielsen show from this morning be available to rewatch, listen to somewhere? Thanks. Yes, and the process will get easier. Nielsen Show podcast. This is why we do the podcast. So if you miss listening to the live audio, just go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you have, and just search search the Nielsen Show, and you'll see it pop up there. And the video is actually go ahead, Maddie.
Well, I just want to say
you
could also go back on YouTube and rewatch it if you want to.
Yeah, so let me pop back there. I'll kind of just walk through it for somebody who would be listening right now and might not be familiar with it. So you would go to Edmonton Sports Talk on the YouTube channel, which if you just go to edmontonsportstalk.com and click the Listen Live button, it'll take you to the YouTube channel. You scroll down past live streams, and you will see the one from this morning, which had our show in the Hangouts at 6,300 views. Eventually, that will be on its own Nielsen Show channel on the YouTube page for Edmonton Sports Talk, and then the Hangout will have its own channel. You see right now there's channels there for the VIP Golf Show, Two Guys and Goalie, Oil Stream. We're in the process of being able to cut it and put it in all these playlists and stuff like that.
What I do like, Dusty, is now, we've talked about it, we've teased it for a month or so. I think people finally get what this is. They're like, oh, a station.
Yeah.
Oh, on camera.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you can see it. This is it.
It's really coming around.
It's all encompassing.
Maddie, hop back on here for a sec because we've been talking about it from 6 in the morning till 1 o'clock every single day. For now, we will be live. And then what's on the schedule here the rest of the day?
So tonight until you guys are back on tomorrow at 6 a.m., it will be a replay of your morning show.
Okay.
The Nielsen Show will replay the entire time, except I think we'll only have like an overnight. There'll only be a couple of hours played.
They cut out that first hour with the audiences,
Yeah, so you'll be able to relive.
So starting
hour.
at 1 o'clock here. Starting at 1 o'clock, we'll be going to the first hour of the Nielsen Show from today.
And we'll just replay that. And that's for tonight.
Yeah.
But then moving for tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we'll be carrying the Turf District.
Yeah, Turf
Friends
District
of EST,
show.
They'll be on at 8 o'clock on our stream. So when we don't have a Friends of EST or we don't have an Oil Stream pre- and post-game show, we'll just have a replay of the shows from earlier in the day, whether it be the Nielsen Show or maybe one of these shows or the Hangout, to just make the scheduling work. That's what you'll generally hear. But tonight it will be just the morning show.
Matthew Saylor texts in via the YouTube chat, says, can we get a Truman Show style of program for Joaquin Gage?
He's coming in studio tomorrow for Two Guys and a Goal.
I think he's coming in for Two Guys and a Goal. I think Cass is coming in tomorrow too.
Belsey will be here as well. He's in on
coming in for the Hangout.
We're gonna probably have to move the TV. I think one of those two boys versus Fraze in between that desk and that TV. It's gonna be a little different.
When we get it mounted,
that might be tough.
That'll be the difference. Jasmine.
Yeah, because once we get it mounted, we can take it back another foot, right?
Yeah, so I think it'll go higher.
That'll work. Right? Yeah, it'll go a little bit higher
and tilt it down, right?
Yeah, although it looks pretty good today.
It does look really good. Jasmine says there will be NBA talk too, right, Tom? Jasmine and I had a great conversation about this during the playoffs when the pre and post game show was on location.
Yeah.
And yes, there will be NBA.
She was at the Nasty Bash, but she had a banged up wheel.
Oh no.
Yeah, she was.
Did she roll her ankle on the court?
I don't know.
potentially.
I never asked, or I don't remember.
Oh, Jasmine, are you okay? How's that? Look?
It was a heck of a party. It was a heck of a party. Couple questions here on the Oilers before we wrap up the oil stream for today. Hey, guys, the world is whole again, gents. This is great. So happy to have you all back. I know Brandon Sutter hasn't played in a while, but if he's healthy enough, isn't he the ideal fourth-line center for the Oil? That comes in from Ranger Seamus or Seamus. From what was the Planet of the Apes? Wasn't the ape named?
I haven't seen
Seamus?
that program. I'm sorry.
You haven't seen?
Is that Dr. Zaius?
No. Have you seen the Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes?
Nope. I did not see that one.
It's not that good.
Sorry, man.
Anyway, that's where I got the Seamus thing from.
To the question, though.
Yeah.
In regard to Brandon Sutter, yes, Seamus. I mean, but we don't know what Brandon Sutter is showing up. This is a guy who hasn't played in a couple of years. He had long COVID, missed a lot of hockey. He's not a young buck anymore. If he could recapture what he was prior to everything happening over the last 3 years, yes, absolutely. I don't know how good the odds of that happening are, but that's why you bring him out here. That's why you give him a PTO and see how well he performs. And, 4 years ago, you're saying yes, but his ticket was big back then. So there's another one. Can I read this?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
One? I think we're looking at the same one here.
Probably.
Looks like Campbell is in Bauer equipment now with the picks from Captain Skate. I am confident in his bounce back for the year. That's from Rusty Shackelford. Rusty Shackelford, Jack Campbell was wearing Bauer gear at the end of last season, so he switched gear companies twice. Started with the Vaughns, went to the Bryans, and then ended up in the Bauers. And I actually talked to him briefly, and I asked him about that, and he's like, yeah, these ones feel similar to what I had at Vaughn. I like the feel, so we'll see if that contributes to his bounce back. I mean, a lot of it has to do, too, I think, just with his mentality and how he feels about his game, and if he has a good start to the preseason. If Stuart Skinner performs like the Stuart Skinner we saw most nights in the regular season, I think we're also going to see a better Jack Campbell overall. And I saw PJ chime in earlier saying, hey, where's Jack Campbell going to go? Well, no Edmonton this year. But when the cap crunch hits and they need to get creative, maybe in a perfect world, he's playing much better and his value goes up. And if he's the guy that they have to move that big ticket from, I think they'd probably like to, but that's so far down the road and so many things could happen. We could end up halfway through the season, Dusty, looking at Jack Campbell as the starter.
Whoa.
We could.
On the end of the first episode, you do this?
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's how voodoo, to steal our good friend Lowtide's term for goalies, are. It can happen, and I don't like the percentage of that happening. I don't think it's going to happen. You want to assume and think that Stuart Skinner will continue to be very strong and grow into that all-star goalie he was last year. But goalies, man, you need two, and you need both of them going, because if you're only leaning on one, it can be a detriment, and we've seen that firsthand time and time again over the last 5 years here in Edmonton.
I know,
maybe plus.
I know that's scary.
It is.
But, to me, Jack Campbell just is too small up top.
But he's a big guy.
Well, then he needs to wear bigger gear, man.
The mindset of these guys.
The way he plays when he goes down, there's too much room upstairs compared to when Skinner goes down. I just think there is.
I get that. I understand.
I don't know. I feel like, this is something we can obviously continue to discuss
over
and over and over.
It's going to come up so many times
on the oil stream. So
we'll be judging after that first game on the 24th, and so and so look great. I don't think either one of those guys will play that game, Campbell or Skinner, but this is going to be an ongoing discussion, as it always is, and rightly so. But it can happen where you're like, oh man, like Skinner got off to a rough start. Now Campbell's playing good. Is Campbell or not? Those things can happen. Do I think it's likely? No, not personally, but it might occur.
All right, that is going to do it. Hey, by the way, just as we were sitting here, Boston Pizza, our partners at Boston Pizza, just tweeted out, attention, kids eat free for all of September, dine-in only at participating locations. One kid's meal per child, 10 years old and under, with a minimum purchase order of $16, which means the Nielsen kids will be eaten for free at Boston Pizza at some point in like the next 3 or 4 days when I actually get to go home and see my family.
We are your family now.
I took my kids to school yesterday, have not seen them since. And I should see them tonight. Yeah. So that'll be good. That's going to do it for our the live portion of our first day here with Edmonton Sports Talk. For Lieutenant Eric kicking around out there, and Matthew Awanek, and Tommy Gazzola. Tommy fist me.
Buddy,
boom.
always.
That's one day in the books. We got a few things that we can obviously improve on, but the numbers have been, come on,
Do you realize
guys.
what you just said?
Yes, Tom, I realize what I said.
Awanek is laughing.
It's a joke. It's a joke, okay? All the shows, the Hangout, we're going to get the podcast up eventually. We got to get that feed going. The Oil Stream with Tommy, the Log Shop, obviously, with myself and Huss. I'm tired, boys.
Good work.
Let's wrap this up. AM Nasty. This is going to work.
This is going to work.
Prior to this morning when we turned it on and there was 700 people listening and there was well over 1,000 people streaming it and 700 watching.
Yeah.
It's going to work. It's just a matter of making it better. But this is a model that can, I think, become the future of sports talk in Edmonton. And we're happy to be bringing it to you. And we'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. That'll do it for another episode of the Oil Stream. Tommy, get us out of here, bud.
An honor and a pleasure. Thank you to everybody watching and listening. This is why we do this. And big thank you to all of our sponsors who have faith in us and did so without us even going to air. Boys, good job on day one, and onward and upward we go. Like, share, subscribe, as you have been. Continue to grow that presence. We're proving that this does work and will continue to get better. Until tomorrow, have a great day.